the vacation girlfriend mindset.
A lot of people ask me, why do I want to date an older man? One man is not enough.
Chrissy, there's a type of man coming to the Philippines nobody really talks about honestly.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's not here for love. He's not here to build a life. And he's definitely not here to get married.
But he will go on a dating app, video chat a woman every night, and tell her everything she wanted to hear.
That's right, because his goal is not relationship. His goal is a vacation girlfriend. And then he goes home. And he does it again next year. Different country, different woman, same story.
And here's the part most men don't expect. Sometimes that woman is real.
And sometimes she's not playing a game. Today, we're going to talk about the vacation girlfriend mindset and why men do it and how it can go wrong very fast.
You know what, Rob? A lot of people ask me, why do I want to date an older man? And that's number one reason why I wanted to date an older man, because for me, older men are into commitment. And there's a lot of men out there in their younger age, let's say 30 to 50, and they all want a vacation girlfriend only in a different country. Like they're not ready to commit yet.
Well, there's lots of older men that are looking for a vacation girlfriend. We've had over 100 people tell us we were crazy, or tell me I was crazy for getting married.
Yeah.
Why get married after the age of 50? I just saw that post today. And a lot of men are getting scammed online. They're getting scammed when they meet women on boots on the ground. They're getting scammed. But a lot of women are getting scammed too.
Well.
We've talked about this. The women go online, they make the mistake of leading with their beauty. And right away, they meet a middle-aged man or a younger man or even an older man, and he is after her youth and her beauty and her photos. And he's got 2 nights a week in a Holiday Inn. He has nothing to do. His wife of 20 years is not satisfying him. He can make a business trip to the Philippines. He can come on a scuba trip to the Philippines. Or maybe he's just a committed bachelor, a committed player. Mm-hmm. And his idea of the perfect life is to come on a scuba trip once a year for 3 weeks and meet a different Filipina girl. Vacationship is his goal.
Like what we've mentioned, a lot of men will come here to find a vacationship girl, and there's a lot of women that are actually real, and they will become victim of that vacationship arrangement.
And there are women looking for a vacationship too. They're unemployed. Mm-hmm. You want to take me to El Nido, you want to take me to Boracay, you want to buy me a new handbag, you want to put me in a 5-star resort and have fun. Yeah, you're going to go back to America, nobody at home. These are the women who don't offer to bring you home. They don't offer to introduce you to family. Now let's just back up for 1 minute, Chrissy. We did a video a long time ago called the Casanova syndrome. And this is a different situation. I think 90% of men, they hear, oh my God, you're going to be so desired, so sought after. Your value will inverse. And now instead of chasing, you'll be chased. And they have it in their initial thought that they'll go online, they'll receive an avalanche of interest, and they'll create a finalist list, a top 10 list. They'll whittle it down to top 3. They'll get on the airplane, land in Manila, see the Manila suburbs and the girl in Manila, go to Cebu City, see the girl in Cebu, maybe go to Boracay with a different girl, circle back and announce the winner. That's called the Casanova syndrome. That's not a vacation girlfriend. That's a man actually trying to find a wife or a long-term woman to bring back to the West. Now, what we've instructed in our consultations, how we teach it, and what we see from over 700 interviews is that the men who end up landing the plane safely, we like to say, the men who end up with a woman like Chrissy, they don't go through with the Casanova syndrome plan. One woman is just heads and shoulders better than all the others. They shut down the search. They focus on that one woman. They give that one woman their full 100% commitment and attention, and they vet the woman with Chrissy's open source social media review service. They get off the plane with a skip in their step. They know there's nothing everyone else knows about her online. They know she's been on video for 3 weeks, morning and evening. They've done Dr. Annan's 30, and they give it a try. Now, A lot of times it's the woman who's married, hidden children, hidden boyfriends, after the money. And she's after a vacation ship. And when you go back on the airplane, she'll just start another vacation ship with another man. What we're talking about today are the people, they're just out for a vacation ship. And you know, you ever been in a relationship and somebody says, hey, can I take a few pictures without you? You know, you're in front of the Boracay sign and you've taken pictures together and she says, hey, let me have some alone. You know, because I'm going to post this online.
There's some signs.
And Chrissy, you have a real red flag that when we give our social media review debriefings, when a woman has been physically with the man, but she never puts him on her social media. It's one thing to not do it before you meet in person.
Yeah.
But what do you always tell the men when you find out she's been together? You've been to El Nido, you've been to Baguio, you've been to Dumaguete, but now only pictures of herself in these places, not with the man who took her there.
It's a big red flag because she's showing in public that she's still available and she's not taken by anyone. Now let's talk about the Casanova. The Casanova, what I see on it is that a man who collects, selects, and settle down. The vacationship man is the man who will just collect and collect.
The player.
Yeah, collect and collect. And of all his collections, a lot of them are real ones that
real
wasted.
Women. Yes. Well, so if you're a sexpat, I say go to Thailand. That's what that's the place for you. If you come to the Philippines, sure, you could go to Angeles City, and yeah, there's a Mango in Cebu, and there's some place in Manila. There's places here, but this is not the place. The women in the Philippines, many of them are living in the past. They're stuck in 1965 with body counts of 0 and 1, and they meet a foreigner, especially a 50-year-old foreign man with money to spend, fit, and they will fall in love with that man and believe him as he takes her on this whirlwind vacation, and then he'll ghost her. It was a partnership for 3 weeks.
So, is it possible that a man who's just looking for a vacationship girlfriend will end up into a real relationship and
it's possible. Absolutely. Look, every man is hoping to have his bell rung. Every man, and there's a lot of men, and women bargain for that too. Women go, I know this type. He's a player, but you know why the women go, you tell me, but I think the women think I'll be the one.
That could change him.
Yes.
I think I discussed about that before. Like the fantasy of a woman as well is that to date with a player with the goal that she can change him. But
yeah, a naughty boy. Like, why are women attracted to the naughty guys, to the bad boys? They think they'll be the one to change him. He's exciting. What about you at home? Have you ever purposely sought a vacationship? You had no intention of settling down, no intention of bringing a woman back to the West. You just wanted to come to South America, a foreign country, and have a wild, great vacation. And you knew having a partner would make it exciting. Has that ever been you? You did a video a while back right here called Girlfriend for Hire. And we talked about men who take a more forthright, upfront approach to this. They're going to look for a tour guide that can give friends with benefits. They're going to look for a massage that'll give them more than is advertised. They're going to look for... they're going to go into a nightclub and look to meet somebody and find a girlfriend for hire. And that's really what you get in Thailand, in Asia.
Yeah. How would the Filipina know that the guy is looking for a girlfriend for hire? What if the Filipina is looking for a real relationship and she fell to a guy who's thinking that he could hire her as a girlfriend?
Well, he's going to make... he'll proposition. If it's girlfriend for hire, there'll be a proposition. There'll be a deal. If it's a vacation ship, holy cow, she's she could be totally out to lunch. He'll just lie. I'm looking for a wife. He'll put down on the dating app, I want a wife. I want to move you to America. And he'll lie about his income. Oh, I make $15,000 a month and I sold my software. Oh my God. We've had expat friends who were in their 70s and they claimed to be in their 60s. And it wasn't until the girl slept with them that she found the passport. So men misrepresent themselves all the time, and Filipinas misrepresent themselves all the time. Sometimes they're looking to scam each other. Sometimes they're looking for a vacationship. That's very short-term relationship. Who doesn't want to have a partner this month instead of being alone? And, it's 2026 and you're young and you're single, and if two parties are willing to go on vacation, great. One of the warning signs you always say if you might be entering into a vacationship is if the Filipina doesn't want the man to come home and meet the family. What do you think about that?
Because meeting the family is a sign of commitment, long-term commitment. And if you meet the family, you will be exposed to other people than your Filipina.
So what if a man is just so selfish and so self-centered? He meets a gorgeous Filipina. He lies that he wants marriage. He's already got his trip planned to Vietnam next year where he's going to do it again. She says, okay, I'll meet you in Cebu City for 3 days. I'll sleep in your hotel room, but then you got to come meet my family. I can't go to El Nido. I can't go to Boracay. I can't travel around the Philippines with you. I can quit my lousy job, and I'm willing to, but you got to come meet the family. And he says, damn. No, he says, okay. He brings a 50-pound bag of rice. He makes nice. And what does it do to this girl here in the Philippines? What happens to her when he breaks up with her after 30 days?
She will be devastated. She will be hurt. She will be brokenhearted because he showed her wrong intentions.
Right.
Because his intention is not to settle down, but just to play around. And then he showed the girl that he's willing to settle down and meet the family, but he's really not. So a lot that is happening right now.
We've had clients where the woman did this. The woman went on the 30-day vacation and ghosted him when he got home. There's a difference though. She didn't meet his kids. What happens to the woman's reputation if he comes and has a little promise ceremony for 2 days and gets the blessing of the family and dumps her? Going forward in the barangay, going forward in her family?
It's embarrassment.
She'll wear that stain. It's very hard for her to get rid of that experience.
Yeah, she will be known to everybody that she got dumped by a foreigner.
And she slept around.
Yes, and the moment that she's going to date again, she could be called a very bad name, like a slut or something.
Right. So that's bad form. But it happens all the time. And when your boot's on the ground, it happens more seamlessly. People don't have to be devious. They don't have to have planned it out. But they meet a girl in a nightclub, they meet their waitress, and they're physically attracted to the woman. They're an adult, she's an adult. You go jump each other, and before you know it, you want to go have a vacationship together. And this is important for you to think about, is you might be entering into a vacationship, or she might be entering into a vacationship, and it would be important they both be on the same page.
Some situation as well is that real man who's really looking forward for settling down will be misinterpreted as vacationship guy, because it's possible that you will meet a person, you will meet a Filipina in person, and then you will go to Boracay, El Nido, you will have time together, and then at the end of 30 days, maybe you both realize, or you realize that she's not really the one you're looking for. There's something in her that you can catch.
Jealousy.
There's something in her that you cannot just put up long term, and you give up the relationship, and other people will call you a player.
Right. But you really wanted a long-term relationship.
Yes. So it could fall to many different situations.
I got to tell you this story. I was reading Philippine Expats like a year and a half ago, and this guy wrote in, not anonymous or anything. He said, I got scammed. I was video chatting my Filipina every day for 2 months. I booked a 20-day unbelievable vacation throughout the Philippines, beaches, Boracay, Panglao, La Union, Surigao, and she dumped me 1 week before I got on the plane to come to Manila. So he said I went on Facebook, and it was one of these groups of like Filipinas and foreigners or something like that.
Yeah, looking for me.
And he was just honest. I booked this 5-star vacation for my Filipina and I, and she ghosted me. If there's anybody out there who wants to be my vacation girlfriend, hit me up. And he said, when he was writing the post, he had just returned home to report back that this woman, she was like 35, pretty fit, pretty kind and pretty. She hit him up and said, I'll go. And they slept together. They vacation shipped. And there was no relationship, there was no love, but they went on a vacation ship together. It was a mutual vacation ship.
I think that's the kind of situation where you can end up marrying or settling down with the Filipina. That's why sometimes real person or the person that is really for you could come in a very odd way, in a very unexpected way.
Like if you're planning to scam them, would you fall in love? That kind of thing? Yeah.
Something like your plan is just for her to be a vacation ship because you booked all this itinerary and you're alone. But then during those times, you got good connection and you got to know her better. She got to know you and you have this mutual connection.
So be careful. If you think you're getting into a vacation ship, Chrissy says you could end up getting married.
Yeah, but of course it's mixed up with fantasy as well.
Where do these vacation ships where do the wheels fall off the wagon? Well, he starts off just trying to be a player and take advantage of a girl. And before you know it, he finds out she has a body count of 1. She is a straight A student. She's the breadwinner in the family.
Well, he just ruined a future.
Yeah, and this becomes like, well, wait a minute, I didn't intend to take it there. She's real marriage material, maybe. And she's the pride of her family, and she doesn't deserve this. So now he has to make a decision. To your point, Chrissy, does this turn into a real relationship, or does he lie? Does he just lie and abuse, and does he risk his karma?
Well, if settling down because you're being pressured by obligation, it's not also good, because you're just gonna settle down with the girl because you felt like obliged to do your part because she's a virgin or something. And it's not also good in long term.
What if he's married and he's just, his wife let him go on a 3-week scuba vacation to the Philippines?
Well, there's no option there.
He's lying. He's committed to lying.
There's only one option, but to break it.
He lies. He says he's going to come back in the future, and then he ghosts her. This is how these end. Somebody's going to get hurt. It's very rare that the story I just told where 2 people willingly go on vacation. More often than not, one person is going to get hurt.
There are men who are looking for vacationship girlfriend that are real in the very beginning. They show their intention, they present what he wanted, and there are also guys that are just like,
they're just going to deceive. The consequences for the girl we've kind of talked about, but there are, in addition to bad karma, there's guilt that you've done this to a beautiful young person. There's remorse. There's having to live with your actions and face your karma. So there are consequences to being this person. There are a lot of guys, they go to a bar and with the sole intention of bringing someone home, and they just do it over and over and over again. And that's just the nature of the game. Everybody knows when you go to a bar and you go home with somebody, it might be a one-night stand.
Yeah, like what I said before, if you're a man and you hit the certain age and you're still a player, you will end up living alone in the
old age home. Maybe. You never know. They have a gift of gab with women. There'll always be some woman who will want to be their friend.
The transactional woman, but for real love, they can't find it.
Yeah, well, there's always maybe a day you can change your stripes. A lot of people, this is like an addiction. They've lost choice in the matter. They're just addicted to the thrill of a new relationship, the endorphins, the physicality, a new country, a new woman. It's exotic. They're addicted to it.
It's the same as women. There are also a lot of women that are addicted to just moving from one man to another man. Like they're addicted to different approach, different treatment, different costs, different places.
But like with all addictions, they can be bad for you.
Well, the reputation is already bad if you're already in there, right?
Yeah.
But like what you always say, there's always redemption, and you believe in redemption. And as long as it's not too late, we could still do that, both men and women.
The vast majority of our clientele don't ask us for that type of advice. They're all looking to meet someone like you.
Settling down.
They want to recreate what we have, whether it's here or whether it's in the United States or Canada. We have now a database. We have over 700 consultations. We have over 100 men who've admitted to giving away huge money under really squirrely circumstances.
Yeah.
And we can recognize those circumstances right away. And we have another couple hundred. Every week we're getting phone calls. I'm getting married. We're moving in together. The K1's been approved. So we have now the benefit of having had, right now it's like 712 consultations.
Yes.
And we always ask the men the same questions. And in your side hustle, where you're doing these social media reviews, you've got this 41 question relationship assessment tool with 41 questions. It only takes like 7 or 8 minutes to take it. And some of what we've learned is integrated, maybe all of what we've learned is integrated in that assessment tool. And you can see if the Filipina you're talking to is at risk for taking you for a vacationship, or whether or not she's at risk for taking you for your life savings, or whether or not she's the kind of girl you want to make an honest woman out of. And you can take the next step with Chrissy and kind of really have her social media reviewed in case you're all thumbs on social media, or you just don't have the tools like Chrissy has, or know the language and the culture. So most of the men are not looking for a vacationship, but some of them get it without wanting it.
Yeah, but what I've noticed is that most of them are wanting to settle down and find a Filipina that also want to settle down, but plenty of them we're also encountered Filipinas who's only wanting vacationship or taking advantage. They already took the Filipina to resort without meeting the parents, because the Filipina that wants vacationship, they don't want you to meet the parents. They don't want you to meet the circle of friends that she had, because it's a little secret that is only between you and her.
So some of the clues that you might be entering into a vacationship, if she resides in Manila or the suburbs, if she resides in Cebu City or the suburbs, unemployed, and she says, hey, after we spent 3 nights together in Cebu City, let's go swim with the whale sharks. Hey, I can show you El Nido. I've been there before. Let's go to Panglao. She doesn't say, wait a minute, I can't travel around the Philippines with a man who hasn't met the family. This is like the single biggest clue that there's a vacationship type girl that you're running with. And she might have done it last month with a different man.
And other clue as well is that when her social media is full of posts without you or without the other man, but she's been to a lot of resorts.
A Filipina, Chrissy, what is it about a Filipina? She cannot go to a 5-star resort without taking a selfie.
Because it's kind of like showing off to friends. Because, a vacationship woman, that kind of woman also have the same kind of friends. Like, that's their niche. And a vacationship woman would not like to be friend with a serious woman, because the serious woman will just give advice that she doesn't want to accept. So she could fall as well in the circle of friends that does the same.
Right. Now, one of the things about meeting a woman in the Philippines, what I've learned from 700 consultations is the opportunity exists for you to time travel, for you to get in a time capsule, go back to 1965, meet a woman in a town of 30,000, 60,000 people. There's no taxis. They don't get around in private cars. They're in public all the time. They have large integrated families all over town that see what they're up to when they're out and about. And they have a body count of 0, 1, or 2. And they're old school and they embrace their gender roles. This is the opportunity the Philippines presents. And what I tell men is, be careful, because women have the opportunity to get into their own time capsule. They can go take a job as an overseas foreign worker, changing adult diapers in Dubai. They're not living in 1965 once they start making $900 a month, once they mix with the other OFWs in Dubai. They bring themselves into the future. If a woman has dated a foreigner before, if a woman has been married to a rich Filipino before, if
Standard just raised.
she's moved into the future. I say it's like an episode of Sex in the City, if you know that TV show. These girls came from Kansas, but after 6 months of living in New York City, they weren't from Kansas anymore, and they weren't that type of woman who embraced their gender roles, old school women that a lot of guys are looking for. They're modern, liberated women. So when they contact you on a dating app, that's not a woman from 1965. That's a woman who's liberated. If she's on Tinder, forget about it. Now, if you came to America to look for a farm girl from Iowa, just because the planes land in LA and New York, it makes no sense you would date a girl from Brooklyn or East LA. If they're from Iowa, the girls you're looking for, you either have to go to Iowa or find them online. And that's why you can vet a girl online and meet a girl from a small... Chrissy was from a town of about 25,000 people that she went to college. She had lived there for the last 10 years. Her hometown had 100,000 people, 5 Jollibees. But the town you lived in had no Jollibees, right?
Yeah.
No taxis, no Jollibees. And how many uncles did you have living in town? God knows, a lot. So you wouldn't fly to Brooklyn to meet Chrissy. You wouldn't fly to East LA just because the planes land there. And when you go online, just because 60% of the women online are from Manila or Cebu City doesn't mean that's a good opportunity because the plane lands there. No. And once the girl has moved to Manila from Leyte or Samar, after 3 or 6 months, she's like a girl in Sex in the City. And the chance that her body count is 0 or 1 is slim to none.
It's either she's turned into, I don't need a man woman, or one man is not enough woman.
So if you're interested in having a big brother and a little sister coach you for 3 to 6 months, or you just want to talk for 10 minutes, go ahead and look in the description box or the first pinned comment. There's a consultation calendar link. Set up a call, and you can have a big brother and a little sister who, after helping 700 men just like you, we can not only bring our own personal experience to bear because we've been to Boracay and we're going again soon, or because we've traveled around and Chrissy knows the language and the culture, but the experience of those other 700 men. We have captured it. We've written books about it. We can talk to you about their experiences and make sure you don't make the same exact mistakes. Better yet, follow in the footsteps and the best practices of the men who found a path forward.
Email us at flymetothe@gmail.com.
Our bottom line advice, if you're the Casanova syndrome guy, you're like everybody. You thought you'd find 4 finalists, you'd come do interviews. We don't recommend that. We recommend you keep searching and hiring hard until you meet somebody head and shoulders, a unicorn, and focus on that one girl, give her a chance. That's where the 200 men who've been successful, that's the path they took. Of the 200 men that have been successful, the vast majority met online. We did a survey, 60% of all men in one survey of 300 respondents met online. In our own subset of consultation, probably 95% of the successful men met online. There are 5% met in person. And then this vacationship concept, yeah, we do have clients. They come out every year with a different girl and they look for help with logistics. They want to know where to scuba dive. They want to know where to eat meals in certain towns and how to get from A to B, and we help them with that. But they're a rare exception.
Yeah, they will just need help about the location and what to do and things like that, how to book the ticket. But when it comes to like how to find a vacation girlfriend, oh, that's the easiest way you can do here in the Philippines.
Yeah. So the hard truth is, watch your karma. Be careful don't be that guy who meets the parents and destroys the girl's reputation. However, Chrissy, the flip side of that is, don't be that guy who gets taken on a vacationship by a BS girlfriend who's going to be off with the man from Australia next month, off with the Frenchman at another resort the next month. Don't be the guy who didn't check her social media, who didn't vet her properly, who wasn't selected, and he just, when she said, you don't need to meet my parents, I'm 35, he went, yeah, it makes sense to me, I don't want to meet them anyway, and off you go. Don't rush head forward into what you think is a potential long-term relationship only to get ghosted, only to find out you're sleeping with a married woman in the Philippines. Philippines. She didn't have the decency to tell you it's illegal and you're doing it. Don't be that guy.
If you're a vacationship guy, present your intention up front for you to get what you wanted and to avoid hurting the real ones.
And to prevent being abused by a vacationship girlfriend, easy money girl.
Don't lead with your money, don't send money before a meeting, and always vet the Filipina by my help.
Never get on the airplane without having done a social media review. Now listen, we have a 13-page PDF on how to conduct a social media review that you could do yourself if you're good with social media. Send us an email at
flymeToThePhilippines@gmail.com
and say, I want the free social media review, or say, I want the free Dumaguete City Guide, or say, I want your book on how to meet a woman, a Western man's guide to dating in Asia and the Philippines, or go to Amazon and buy our 300-page best-selling guidebook. But take action, protect yourself, get a big brother and a little sister, get some knowledge, get some free resources. Don't be on the wrong end of a vacationship, and be careful before you get some bad karma and generate a good time that doesn't take care of the Filipino.
And always remember, fly smart, fly with confidence. Only here from Fly Me to the Philippines.